Hey there, I'm MrLeftTurn and welcome to my favorite race shop. Celestial Advice gave us a small taste of a full episode with Celestia, but that just left the fandom hungrier than ever for another one. And what better way to build on that than with an episode dedicated to her and Luna together, especially after their brief scene in Slice of Life. The only question is, will the writers... Oh, who am I kidding? This episode was bloody glorious! Not only did we finally get perhaps the most anticipated episode in the show's history, but by Celestia, it was well worth the wait. The best part is, this episode picks up right from Slice of Life and just ran with the tone of that scene between Celestia and Luna. I could not get enough of them scowling at each other, the bickering, the snide remarks, and general disdain they felt toward each other. I know, friends or family fighting isn't supposed to be fun to see, but I'm just grateful to see Celestia and Luna dropping their regal personas and just acting, well, human. One thing I liked about this trope of two characters switching lives for a day is it wasn't the cliched bet plot. This was actually a fresh idea that works even better because they had no choice but to go through the day and night in each other's position, so they have a better chance at learning just how hard either of them have it. And to top it off, Starlight got even more needed screen time by being the one to help the sisters see eye to eye and realize they both have equally stressful days. Plus, she got called by the map. I've always been curious if the map would only call upon one character at some point, but having it be Starlight? Talk about a satisfying answer. And you know, Starlight really was the only pony who could have helped Luna and Celestia. Of course, we heard Twilight's bias toward her former mentor surface, but remember how much she flipped out here?
Sorry, it's just, you said princesses and aren't the best in the same sentence, and it's making me nervous!
Had Twilight went, she would have never had the courage to say exactly what was wrong to the princesses, at least not as quickly as Starlight did. Unsurprisingly, Starlight is an impulsive pony as the episode showed, but as rock-solid friendship also proved, she can be blunt to anyone. Although a bit timid herself, she swallowed her pride and told Luna and Celestia it was them that was the problem. The two were so off from each other that they needed one hell of an impulsive kick in the flank to get them on the same page. And it was nice to see her assisting Luna throughout the day, or at least being there for moral support. Now, onto what really makes this episode glorious. Royal Problem was just plain fun the whole time through. Both times Luna grumpily entered the dining hall are some of my favorite bits with Luna in the entire show, especially when she ate a banana peel and just said, "Hey," in the most I don't give a crap voice ever. I also love the return of her Canterlot voice, her faltering smile turning into a scowl and costing a class their field trip, and of course, Luna ditching Celestia at the very end of the episode to deal with the Timberwolves in the field trip. Celestia had a good bit of talking to herself, though don't they have night guards? Or Luna's bat pony guards to talk to at night? But really, these two played off so hilariously with their sarcastic comments that it was easy to tell that Nicole Oliver and Tabitha St. Germain were having a freaking ball recording these lines as Luna and Celestia. Heck, even Starlight had some funny moments with throwing Music Box Twilight into a drawer, trying to get Luna to smile for the newspaper photo, telling Luna and Celestia they didn't have much of a choice, and Twilight dragging her off at the end of the episode to give her all the details. But easily, the best part of Royal Problem was Daybreaker. From her badass design to her supervillain sounding name, I loved this incarnation of evil Celestia, and the resulting battle between her and Nightmare Moon. Look, I know it would be very bad for Equestria, but the action fan inside me wants to see these two face off again because this scene wasn't only well animated, but they exchanged some pretty witty dialogue too.
Unless you plan on smiling me to smithereens, you could really use some sun!
Sure, it was awesome to see Celestia step up to use Luna's magic to vanquish the evil doppelgangers, yet what I loved most about this scene is both sisters admitting that they were wrong. It's very difficult to admit to someone that something wasn't as easy as you first thought, but Royal Problem illustrated that everyone's job requires a very specific person to accomplish them. Both what Celestia and Luna have to deal with requires extreme amounts of patience, but for various reasons. Celestia's day is jam-packed since that's when most activities take place, but it takes someone with great time management skills, quick thinking, and the ability to put on a fake yet convincing smile to complete extremely mind-numbing tasks, something she's very well gotten down over the past few millennia. While on the other hand, Luna has much less yet bigger duties to tend to at night, something she has to do alone since she's the only one who's able to enter the dream realm, and because there are little to no other ponies to speak to outside of dreams. Not only that, she's Equestria's first line of defense should something attack it while the moon is up. Having to juggle those three huge responsibilities with no one to rely or trust on but yourself, while in the dark no less, is maddening just to think about. Like with any profession, it takes certain people with certain dedications and discipline to be successful. Not just anyone can pick it up in a few hours. And when it feels like no one appreciates you or your hard work, especially friends or family, and treats your job as trivial, yeah, you're gonna take some offense to that. The moral itself was really good. Not one of my favorites, but good nonetheless. It's easy to think someone has it easy at their job because you only see glimpses of what they do or the surface of what they do. You don't see what they have to go through in an entire day. Remember to appreciate what they do so they don't feel their efforts each and every day are for naught. And if you feel like what you do isn't being recognized fairly, don't be afraid to speak up. But I also saw how communication is important in any kind of relationship. Due to Celestia and Luna's poor communication, the entirety of events were set in motion because neither of them spoke up to the other about how they felt. But what's interesting about this is Celestia and Luna play a stark contrast to Starlight and Twilight. The formers were family and lived in the same castle, yet couldn't properly convey their issues, while the latter two were only able to talk to one another through a spell, but they both understood what the issue was, even if Twilight was too timid to talk about it. There is nothing more I can add. This episode had everything I could want in a Celestia and Luna episode and more. It may not have been the exact episode some people wanted, but the outcome is still the same. We finally got an episode that showed Celestia and Luna as flawed characters who made mistakes by taking each other's jobs for granted, which is a common problem we can relate to, and how much they care for each other. It may have taken 6.5 years for some, and only 3 years for me, but again, this episode was well worth the time we all had to wait. And not only did we get a better look at the Royal Sisters and more development for Starlight, but it was just a fun ride that lands not only a green flag rating, but may very well end up in my, and a lot of other, top 10 favorite episode lists. But what did you think of A Royal Problem? Post your thoughts in the comments below and thank you for watching. I'm MrLeftTurn, I'll see you when I get back from the track.